Thank you, Ray J. Greetings and salutations. This is your girl, Outspoken Diva, and let's have a talk about it, shall we? What are we talking about on today? While I will say this might be a sort of a get ready with me. I'm trying to paint my fingernails. I have somewhere to be, and my nails are chipped. And yeah, it's probably easier for me to paint my nails as opposed to just take it all off. And yeah, that's what I want to do anyway. I want to wear color. Anywho, what are we talking about? We are going to talk about the Den of Kings with Kirk Franklin. This latest episode, I had never watched an episode of the show, but I saw that two of people that I am fans of, Kev on Stage and Dr. J Barnett, were going to be on the episodes. I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this. So I took the time to watch it, and did not have any really intentions of talking about this, but then no one was talking about it on Saturday and Sunday, and then boom, all of the chatter behind it. And of course, like a lot of things that are popular that I actually know about and want to talk about, most people are not talking about it in a most I said that right. Most people are not talking about it in a manner that that I see it. So, oh, if y'all wondering what am I painting my nails with, it is Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails. This is Rough Night. So yeah. If y'all think that's a pretty color on my nails, check it out. My nails and my toes are that color. No, I don't need to paint my toenails, so y'all won't get to see that. So yeah. Anywho, but this episode had like I said, Kevin Fredericks, aka Kevin on Stage, Dr. J Barnett, Jonathan Majors, Ray J, and a guy named NLE. I found out was a rapper. Y'all know I'm in my mid to later 40s. So me not knowing who a NLE is, yeah, I'm okay with that. Thanks to some of the people who are around my age doing their research and mentioning some of his music and lyrics. Yeah, I'm okay. I saw about the pink eye thing, and yeah, I'm good. I'm good at yeah. Glad he's a good, talented brother though. So yeah, he's rapping his life. So that's good. Authenticity. Okay. But they were supposed to talk about men's mental health. So, and I was like, oh, okay, that's why, Dr. Barnett was there. And, you're like, okay. So they walk in, and everybody's talking about, why did they put this lineup up? Well, I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't really understand that because I don't know who NLE is. I know who Ray J is, and the conversations that people are talking about how he can always be a distraction or be distracted from the moment. I get it, but then people were like, what about why Jonathan Majors? Well, I'm of the mindset of Jonathan Majors was found guilty of violence. Okay, I think I can say violence against a woman. Okay. All right. But I feel like he got railroaded, and I did not like the way that the narrative of Marvel and all other deals that he had were ripped from under him just because he was found guilty. if you actually believed or not believed that he did it or not, it should not have been because he was found guilty. It's because you believe he did it or you didn't. He didn't do it. So those deals should have stayed or went because of that. That's just me. Now it is rumored that Jonathan Majors might be coming back to Marvel, and I'm like, I hope so. But yeah, but he got married. Some woman, no, not some woman. Megan Good stood beside him, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so fine. But seemingly, he's matured. He's done some work and all that kind of stuff. And then you have Kev on stage, who's a comedian. But he also has a church base and all of these things. And then you have the psychologist, Jay Barnett, who's also Christian. So, you have all these people, and everybody's like, of course, they didn't know who Dr. J. Barnett was, but everything is always so critical. Why are these people on the stage, and who put them together, and all of these kind of things. Maybe they thought that they could learn from each other. And that's my thing. That's my thing. We're going to talk about the chatter of it. But it's always the chatter of why did this happen? Why didn't this happen? As opposed to, what did I learn from it? I never understand how people, oh, my ear is itching. I can't, every time I paint my nails, these things happen. Every time these things, some kind of trendy something, it's always the salaciousness and things of that nature. I understand the salaciousness of what people say. Some of y'all took it to a point of, why are these people together? Maybe, to teach them something. Somebody could learn something. Maybe y'all was supposed to watch it to learn something. I watched it, like I said, 2 people that I am fans of, Kevin Fredericks, Kev on Stage, and Dr. J. Barnett were on. So, and I like watching some things that are for men. I like to watch men's spaces, positive men's spaces to me. Because one day I'm going to break down all my podcasts that I listen to and watch and stuff. And y'all will see how many are male-based. But, I like that because me as a single woman, and especially during my time, like now, I'm not on the dating market. So, I like to learn because, I have 2 male friends, but there's certain things only they can teach me. There's some other things that I like to learn, to be in these spaces. And I actually learned a lot from the Den of Kings, especially toward the end when they were talking about, spoiler alert, those of you who have not watched and will not be watching, so yeah. They were saying that, what should women learn, know about men and, take away from men on how to handle, their mental health and stuff. And, don't throw things back at them, their emotions and their, and there was I think Dr. Barnett was the one who said women are ahead of the game when it comes to, mental health and emotions and things of that nature. Okay. If you're a man cries or things that, they're vulnerable about, no, I've never done that to guys who I have been in romantic rapport with. But just even my friends, LJ, I have a whole joke with him. I'm not going to give, the joke. But I found out in other means that, sometimes I make him feel bad. And I was like, oh, okay, I need not to do that. Number one, is annoying. And number 2, he was in a vulnerable spot when, these things happen. So, okay, And I'm learning that in my big 4s, I'm learning that, no men, not that you can't ever tease with them about stuff, but there are, things they learn, they learn from those things on how open they can be. Okay. Also, just the beginning of the episode, the first question, what makes you happy? Those guys answered that question like that was a loaded question. And it's sad that men, and I'm gonna have to say black men. I don't know. I didn't know. There were only black men there, but these men, what made them happy was very different from what I would say what makes me happy. Very different from what I know other women to say, what women would say what makes them happy. And I don't know if it was a sad thing or, like I said, an informational thing. Like, oh, okay, men see it this way, or you know, there has to be a space, there has to be a moment where men can actually relax and pinpoint other parts of them that make them happy. Like have that pure joy moment in their lives. Okay. Now the stuff that you guys, some of y'all are chattering about. For some odd reason, this interview, this roundtable took a religious turn, and you find out that at least 3, maybe 4, identify as Christian. We just know that NLE. Ray J didn't really emote, on part of this. He didn't have a lot of informational things to say. But NLE, and it became like a Jonathan versus NLE thing. You can kind of tell how men handle when they are annoyed or frustrated. How they handle things and how women handle things are 2 totally different things. But NLE was talking about, something. I'm not gonna fully spoil this thing. I want you guys to watch. Something comes up, about God and things of that nature. And of course, the other guys are being Christian. They believe, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, the Holy Trinity, right? NLE is, I can't even call him, he didn't even say he was spiritual. He was just like, he only goes to the source, which is God, and he had problems with how Christians praise the Son and not just God. And he feels like, Jesus is our brother. And Jonathan Major was like, have you read the Bible? He was like, yeah, I've read the Bible. He said, I want you to go read that again. And because, number one, he was already frustrated. Plus, he felt as though it was probably not the moment to go into the Godhead, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, the Trinity, on why they're all equal and stuff, because it was not, we were supposed to be talking about mental health, men's mental health. So I kind of understood that some people, were like, and of course, there was a big age discrepancy. NLE is like 32. Jonathan Majors is like in his mid to late 30s. Then Dr. Barnett and Kevin on Stage are like 42, 43. And then Ray J is 44. And then Kirk Franklin is in his 50s. I think he's like 55. And Kevin on Stage finally worked it out. Because, yeah, you can kind of tell they were like, yeah, but you still 22. They wasn't saying that, but they kind of get him to understand you need to listen because you're wise for your age, but you don't have, and even Ray J was trying to admit, tell him that you're wise for your age, but you still don't have the life experience that these guys have. And Kevin on Stage finally said it. He was like, I get it. I finally get it. You're old for where you come from, and it kind of made sense to them. So they can kind of relax a little bit, and those kind of things. So I just feel like sometimes NLE was like the little puppy who was hanging with the big dogs, and I'm gonna show that I'm a big dog too. Sometimes, if I'm wrong, if you disagree, I said this way, if you disagree with me, we can talk about it. We're not gonna argue. Of course, we don't do arguing over here. So, yeah. Anywho, but it was an informative thing. But I also wanted to talk about the trick of the camera. the trick of the camera. I just feel like sometimes camera people are very messy, and they want us to talk about and see things and blow things up that don't have to be. Can we just have a pure moment? Let people say things without us panning over the things. Just let a moment be a moment. So of course we were talking about Jonathan, not Jonathan McReynolds. Lord, I hope I haven't been calling him that the whole time. Jonathan Majors. Jonathan McReynolds is a gospel singer, somebody totally else. Jonathan Majors. No, he was somebody. Yeah, I had to go through things and let this woman love on me while in the spotlight. He said there were podcasts that talked about me, and they panned over the Kev on stage. Which, I mean, it's not he's made his jokes. He has a podcast that he's made his jokes about Jonathan Majors and all this kind of stuff. So, but he also calls him friend of the pod. So, and I just thought there were times that, and when NLE was talking, you can kind of see some of the guys' faces like, I'm a little tired of you, that kind of stuff. And I just thought it was like kind of distasteful and kind of, like I say, kind of messy. I guess it was something for us to talk about. A point for us to talk about. But, sometimes you have to see past that and just stick to what is actually being said, All in all, it is a good, that's why I'm not doing a good, the bad, and the diva of it all. I just wanted to, like I said, give my thoughts about everybody else's thoughts about, the Den of Kings. I even saw someone saying, I don't know why they call that the Den of Kings. Kings are in palaces, not dens. Dens are for animals and vagrants and hobos. And I was like, maybe the den is a secret inner sanctum. A den like the den in your home. Somewhere where you can relax and chill out. Sometimes I think we just overthink stuff and just chatter too much about things, and we want to be the smartest in the room. Sometimes just take the information that you get as the information that you get. So yeah, like I said, I just got on here to talk about it because people weren't saying it like I wanted you to say it. But of course, that's why I have the platform to say it like I want to say it, right? Okay, you have the platforms or whatever, say it like you want to say it. Oh, okay, good. I hit my finger and it did not chip. Yay. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Did you watch Den of Kings? Are you going to watch it? What did you take from it? That kind of thing. And like I said, I wasn't going to spoil everything. I want you to watch it. If you want you to watch it and get your own grasp of what you got from it, okay? And have you watched any other episodes? This is my only episode that I ever watched. I haven't decided if I'm gonna go back and go watch any other episodes, but yeah, this one that I watched, I liked it, so yeah. Let me know down in the comment section of this video on the social media site that you see this on, except Facebook. You get down below and you put those in the comments on this video, or you can always shoot me an email at the email address in the description box, okay? All right, chit chat over, right? Okay, and other than that, talking to you in adult terms.